So here's a really quick recap of what you should get out of chapter 5. So chapter 5 is the first chapter we're doing about ethos, and it focuses on decorum, which is just behavior. So it can be things like how you dress, the language that you use, and that can mean a lot of different things, like how formal it is, or do you use cuss words or not, do you use slang or regional dialect and things like that. It can be manners. There's a lot of different things that can be part of decorum. The two big takeaways. Number one, you want to behave the way your audience expects you to behave. So the idea of that is sometimes that will be behave like your audience, but there's definitely times that you do not want to behave just like your audience because that might be inappropriate. There's some really great examples of that toward the end of the chapter. So you want to behave the way your audience expects you to behave. And then secondly, you want to keep in mind like what you can pull off as authentic behavior and don't stray too far from it. And so the story he tells about him and his brother buying flowers and giving them to women they don't know on the street is a really good illustration of how his brother is acting natural for him. And so the author is saying the exact same things and doing the exact same things as his brother can't pull them off and gets a different reaction because they are not natural for him. They are natural for his brother. So he's just trying to say, if you know that this particular behavior is too far removed from you, and that might be people who like try too hard to speak formally and it comes off sounding wrong, dressing uncomfortably. I don't do girly clothes very well. And when I wear a dress, you can tell it is not me, as one example of many things I cannot pull off authentically. But the idea is you know where your limits are and try not to go too far out of them, because coming off as fake can be damaging to your credibility, maybe more damaging than just not fitting the situation and the behaviors that are expected. So you want to walk that line between meeting audience expectations, but also not going so far that you become fake. So that's pretty much chapter 5 in a nutshell. That is decorum or behavior, behaving the way your audience expects you to behave.